Thanks for being here, Records. Much appreciated, man. Records is super creative.
We're gonna skate to one song only.
He's really interesting. He's one of my favorite people. I consider him a friend. Yo, Rikers. Alright. Rikers, say hi.
Hi.
We have a guest in the studio. He wants to play A Way Out, so we're gonna do a Way Out play with him. Play through with him soon. Rikers says hi.
Hi.
We're gonna start Borderlands. He's gonna play Fortnite because Fortnite released mechs. And you know, he loves robots. I'm pumped, man. This feels like coming home. This feels like coming home. I love this game. It's my second favorite game ever. I love this franchise. This game was the one game I played for about 2.5, 3 years. This was one of those games that you get so addicted to that you'll skip class. You'll try to get out of work. You ignore responsibilities. It's one of those games. One of the all-time classics. Many, many multiple well-earned Game of the Year awards. Really a masterpiece, work of software. The definitive looter shooter in many's eyes. And I'd say they're probably right. It has some problems. But I hope and I believe that we're in for a really, really fun playthrough. Because this is one of the favorites, man. It's one of my favorites. I wish you could hop in. I wish you could hop in too, Records. I'd love to have you in here, man. I'd love to have you in here. It'd be dope. There's no doubt it'd be dope. We're off somehow, and I don't know what happened. I don't even remember messing with the webcam. Normally I fit in here like perfectly. Today I do not. How did that happen?
But Hyperion weren't the only ones searching for the next vault's alien power.
Yeah, this thing's off.
The call of
This is very risky what I'm about to do.
Easily resisted. Certain warriors came to Pandora in droves to uncover its hidden secrets. Some would call them,
And it did not resolve anything.
others call them fools.
I don't know how this thing got off though.
Call them vault hunters. Our story begins with them.
So you want to hear his story?
A man named
This is gonna be like 10 times worse. See ya. Great start to the playthrough. I've beat this game about 24 times. So, you know. Something's off with the... I don't know, like... I didn't fool with anything off stream. I guess I should have looked at it. I'm getting stomach feels watching this opening. No game's perfect, but it's pretty close. It's pretty damn good. The only thing that it does wrong is the later stages. Let me try to fix this webcam super quick before we really jump in. Quite the I don't know if I made the situation better or worse. We're about to find out. See if we can't keep coming over here. Oh, we're close. I don't know how it got off. It was... I really didn't mess with it. I don't want my shoulder to be cut off. That's important. And it's still too much. What happened? Still too much. It's weird. There. Now it's back where it was. I don't know how that happened. I didn't screw with it off stream. I'm gonna be playing Sal, you know, because he's really hard. He's known as about the most challenging of all the Vault Hunters. I'm glad you're here for this, Rikers. Thanks for being here, dude. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. Actually, I've never run Sal to max level. That's another reason I'm doing it. He's the one character I didn't do. I think I ran Krieg to 50. I guess we could count that, kinda.
Wait a minute. You're not dead. Yes. Now I can get off this
Rumors of
plane.
my death have been very much exaggerated.
The ship has finally come in. Allow me to introduce myself.
He actually digs this up. I never noticed that before.
PTP Steward Bot, but my friends call me Claptrap. Or they would. if
1/3
they
of this
were
game,
alive
dude. We got to do a
or
playthrough
in the
together.
first place.
We got to go ahead and take on the curse again.
I've got something for you. Here, take this echo communicator that I totally didn't loot from one of these corpses. It comes with a Class 12 heads-up display, complete with a mini-map.
You must have really suffered from the curse. If you were somebody who was willing to do the Underdome like we talked about yesterday,
And this
Rikers, then you definitely suffered from the curse. I'm sure you'd want to beat this.
is great. Now that
I think that we have to download, we now have to buy the DLC that they came out with. It was free just for a limited time, which kind of sucks. What, Tucker? And yeah, Fortnite's down to like, I think it's second or third in the Twitch thing today because of the Modern Warfare released a thing.
I can finally join the Resistance and Sanctuary, take vengeance against Jack for killing my product line, and repair my central processor.
Love the
So
gun
I
models.
start thinking out loud. I wonder what it's like to have a belly button.
I'll explain everything soon, but know this.
I can't really hear you,
You're alive
Zark.
for a reason, and I am here to help you.
Everything's exploded. We'll look at it. Nice.
You coming?
We'll look at it tonight. I'm gonna stream this. The Great Wilso, what up, man? 60 more hours of Borderlands Arena. Yeah. The Great Wilso! Thanks for being here, Wilso. Much appreciated, buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. One I started to really dig into building. Gage was my favorite. Yeah, Gage was my main too. Gage is my main. I think I can select a character at random, can I? But she was always my main too, so you have good taste, Rikers. Like I said, so I'm being, you know, facetious, as my grandma would say. Facetious. About Sal. He's the most OP character in this whole game. It is one of the things that ends up becoming a problem later on, is that he is by far the dominant Vault Hunter. He literally has double the DPS with almost no weakness. And I've never seen him glitch in there.
Open. Just a little added security.
So I'm using him because I think it's going to help our playthrough the most, since we're trying to go to at least level 80. I don't know about OP levels, probably not. And that I've never seen him at max level. I saw Krieg at 50. I think I ran him to 42. I ran everybody else to max. I just didn't do OP levels because I'm a console pleb, as they'd say, and I don't use Gibbed. So I'm not going to beat this game 8 more times for the sake of the well, really more than that, because you have to play it, go get a Sandhawk. So it's like 4 playthroughs per OP level. And that's like a minimum. That's getting everything perfectly. And that's subtracting the farming that you have to do in the meantime. So, you know, it's ridiculous. OP levels, they're an okay idea, but their implementation wasn't good. Especially because this game has exponential scaling, which will become a problem later on when we hit Ultimate Vault Hunter. I don't mind Ultimate Vault Hunter. I'm prepared for that. I've run it multiple times. I don't mind the challenge so much, but OP levels are a different story. So I'll probably avoid that. We have 146,000 badass rank. That was all farm legit, by the way. That was just straight up from doing playthroughs and running these characters. Gun-ho. But you can already tell this is just like... especially these first couple playthroughs are such a significant leap forward from Borderlands 1. Borderlands 1 is an amazing game,
Changed Pandora forever.
but 1 through 50, the first 2 playthroughs of Borderlands 2 are just about, like you said, Rikers, just about as close to perfect as you can get for this genre that ultimately Gearbox, I feel, formed, the looter shooter.
I've been waiting for a mighty Vault Hunter to help me reach Sanctuary. I will be your vice leader, and you shall be my fearsome minion. Great. Just like
As we go through, we'll have plenty of time to pay attention to the story. We'll be running this story a minimum of 3 times. If we run just one character to max rank, we'll be doing this story a minimum of 3 times. So,
onward, seeing
again, that's just getting your character to max level. That could even take 4 playthroughs if you don't do everything perfectly right. And that's before OP level. So imagine that. 4 playthroughs on a character on what is a pretty long game. 5 playthroughs plus DLC is best I can do. And that sounds about right. That sounds about like where we would probably be. And I'm only giving us 2 weeks to do this. I'm giving us till August 18th. I know realistically that this game is a game you could play the rest of your life if you wanted to. That's just how good it is. It's how much content's here. I know it's gonna. That's why I'm like one character. We're gonna try to get all the achievements, and we're gonna try to do that right. But so I'm not, you know, like, oh my god, leaning on every word that Claptrap says or Angel says right now, because we're gonna get plenty. We're gonna get plenty of it. It's gonna be tough with 2 streams, right? Where speedrunners have this thing down to like perfectly memorized. They know exactly where the bully mongs spawn at. They can shoot them as soon as they come out. It's impressive. It is impressive. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I just saw it on Twitter. I'm wishing you luck.
Jack's tearing Pandora apart.
Just go into creative and spawn some.
They say Jack's drilling operations are causing those earthquakes. That, or your mom just got out of bed. Zing!
Heyo. Oh yes, Mr. Birch is the writer here. He starts out pretty good, but by the time we get to the Hammerlock DLC and definitely the pre-sequel, he has reached full form. He has reached max level Anthony Birch, and it's gonna be rough. But the opening here, when we had just vanilla, low level Anthony Birch, he does a good job. This game tells a better story than Borderlands 1. By a lot. By a lot. It's much better. It's much better. And there's voice acting, and there's characters that are actually fleshed out. It's just when we get later, you know, when we talk, what we were talking about yesterday, that he starts to insert all this, like, identity politics crap in there, and it gets a little hard to stomach at times.
Before more bully mongs arrive.
It's a lot of pandering and a lot of signaling that Mr. Birch ends up shoving into this game for
But please,
an inexplicable reason besides that he wanted to. But it wasn't about forwarding the story or franchise of Borderlands, I would argue. But this initial playthrough is great. I love the story. Handsome Jack's definitely the best villain in the franchise. I mean, he was the second major villain, truly major villain, to show up. And he's good. He's really formed out. He's got a lot of... Gearbox doesn't want to give up on Handsome Jack for a reason. They spent so much time developing him as a character. He even gets his own... You get to play as Timmy the Doppelganger in the pre-sequel. So Mr. Birch did a good job there, obviously. And, you know, if this was Borderlands 1, everything is explained through text dialogue. You have to read it, and even then when you read it, it's pretty boring. Some stuff is good, though, but not a lot of it. As we just experienced for about 300 hours. This one, characters are going to tell you what you're doing, and they're going to tell you why, and there's going to be, you know, real story involved for most of it. Yeah, I can pre-order Borderlands 3 from the main menu. Believe it or not, we could actually pre-order Borderlands 3 if we wanted to. Believe it or not. One moment, sorry. What I was thinking about shooting some of his projectiles, there's a pretty good chance that we'll get a Hornet here. I want him to throw some of his icicles around. See that? Projectiles. This is like easy badass rank right here. Usually you get them in an area where it's all they want to do is just throw the stuff. Apparently, Black's gonna have a Bullymong pet, which is kind of cool. Just punch that ice block. Level up. Well, hell yeah. I'm still really excited for this. I mean, this is like... It's like I'm eating dessert instead of dinner right now. It's been like a dream. Back in the day, when I became completely addicted to this game, like, dude, it would be sweet to be a streamer. Just get to play this game. Here we are. I mean, granted, I don't make, you know, any real money on this platform, and I still have to do a bunch of adult responsibilities, and the dream hasn't quite come fully true yet, but here we are. We're getting to freaking play this during the day. That's pretty sweet. 5. Here's my favorite. One at right. 5 playthroughs. Bro. My turret is, yeah. Alright, you're in the quotes for that one, Will. So, bro, I need to know how super gay my turret is. Right. This is important to know that Axton's turret identifies as a Bullymong. Some random idiot just tipped me $1 and asked me if I did a. Are you stupid? Oh my god. Yeah, Tucker. Gonna have to dig around. Why don't you just play the Battle Royale mode? It's probably around there.
Let me get that for you.
You know, you can join me on Borderlands too. This is where the fun's at. Alright. Thank you, Angel. So Angel wasn't born as a siren. That's one of the big things we learned in the latest DLC. She was made into a siren. And so that's like a big plot twist because Maya was born as a siren and Lilith was born as a siren. There's only 8 sirens, I'm pretty sure. It's 8 or 6. Pretty sure it's 8 sirens in the universe at any given time. And the assumption is they're born that way, and then they're taught by another siren. In fact, I started reading the comics because I wanted to get more into the lore and like be able to talk about it on stream. Because the comics are going to play a big role in Borderlands 3 apparently. That's what Randy Varnell says. So I started reading them, and they're by Mikey Newman, who wrote the first game. And he was a big part of the Borderlands franchise. He was the voice of Scooter, etc., etc. He was one of the, you know, OG Borderlands guys. Duke St. Paul, thank you for taking the red pill, seeing just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Welcome to reality, Duke St. Paul. Thank you for that follow, man. Much appreciated. Also, thank you for that red pill. And what happens is there's this like siren mother who comes and talks to Lilith. And Maya looks very, very much like the Siren Mother now, because the Siren Mother dies shortly after giving Lilith her powers. After, like, apprenticing Lilith. And now that's what Maya looks like, and it looks like Eva, who's the new character in Borderlands 3, is probably an apprentice.
Oh, and I'm still offering a reward for Roland, the mass murdering leader of the Crimson Raiders.
You say, Paul, take a shit and flex, I'll donate you $100. You could say it's $1 million and I wouldn't do it. Here's money, here's dignity, money, dignity. And by dignity, I mean not doing what anybody asked me to do for money. We will lose all control of this ship, Duke St. Paul. Thank you for that red pill hype, Wreckers. No, yeah, true. Yeah, I'm actually not even allowed to be shirtless. Used to be able to just chill. That's what I think every time I see a streamer on their phone. They're checking PayPal for tip message. And maybe. It's sad that we had to become cynical because there was one bad egg. Don't let him ruin it for you, Wilso. What do you say, Tucker?
Spectacular! First Captain Flint's bandits attack, then Claptrap shows up.
Maybe you should check. Go into the Battle Royale and land there.
Cruel to puppies in a previous life to deserve this kind of treatment. I say, Vault Hunter, could you kill Flint's men for me?
I think I can jump over this. Was that level 3? Dude, look how bad the recoil is on this thing. This reminds me so much of Battleborn. The guns feel so similar to Battleborn. Kind of herky-jerky. Like, the gunplay is good, and especially because of the graphics, it lends way to not having to be hyper-realistic. But at the same time, it's its own unique thing. Plenty of aim assists. Apex Legends got me on roof game. I'm trying to do a lot of crouching. There's a challenge you have to kill like 20,000 enemies while crouched. It's called like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Assault Rifle, something like that. It's kind of dumb. It takes an inordinate amount of time. I may have already done it on Krieg though. We'll see. You get a camo skin for it, a tiger skin. It's pretty cool, so it is worth in the end. And Muscle Cat hype! The Muscle Cat hype!
Please stay back, Vault Hunter. Let Claptrap go first.
I knew Hammerlock would come around eventually. Me and him are like 2 peas in a pod. 2 bullets in a mag. 2 cannibal midgets in a fat guy's ribcage.
The red pill hype. Dude, growing up, I never celebrated my birthday. Like, we never had a party or anything. I certainly didn't celebrate for a week. I don't know where the meme came from. Probably trolls. You never celebrated your birthday when you were a kid, Wilso? Like, you didn't have cakes and stuff? Like, I definitely don't know where he started having this week-long birthday celebration. That's hella obnoxious, but I definitely had... Oh, tax season said that. I was gonna say, I was like feeling bad for you, Wilso. Like, dude, that kind of sucks, man. Like, I know at least as a little kid, I would have a birthday cake and stuff. Oh, okay, I'm applied for the spelling, dude. My bad. He's saying he never had a birthday as a kid. He's so full of crap. He's full of crap. And the week-long birthday is super obnoxious.
I'm headed to Sanctuary myself. From what I hear,
actually, this is a great scene, because I think he tortures Claptrap.
now, if you could hand me the robot's eye.
Birthday season. This is a funny scene. But Claptrap is massive. Like, look at the size of Hammerlock compared to Claptrap. Claptrap's like twice his size. I think he shocks the ever-living hell out of him. Maybe he had just done that with the electric fence.
That should do it.
I love how tortured Claptrap is throughout his existence.
He gets punched. He like punched his eye in.
Hammerlock has a cool character model.
I like how he's half robot.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of biotic.
This glacier's full of nothing but murderers
Or bionic, I
and
mean.
dirtbags, like that Hammerlock dude.
How ramshackle the tech is, yeah, it's pretty sweet. It does a good job of doing the like steampunk Wild West science fiction, but at the same time primeval feeling.
Minion, roll out.
That's where Borderlands, it's not just, you know, cell shaded, it really is its own style. And it comes into its own in Borderlands 2. That's another thing that this game, and it's amazing they did it in 2 years. That's how long the development time was. They took that style that they had built in Borderlands 1 with all of it. There's something about games that start with a winter map that always end up becoming like the greatest games ever. But you know, they just took all of the different issues that with that, which is that it was like just brown. It was brown like Fallout 3 style, just brown everywhere all the time. And they added tons of color and details, and everything always looks like it's on the verge of being broke down and held together with, you know, rubber bands and bubble gum and glue.
Oh well, just speak to me instead.
And finally, you know, the bottles always have tape on them and band-aids. Claptrap can finally see, now it's time to get to Sanctuary. Unfortunately, one man stands between you. So what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to see if we can't push. I can't quite remember how far into the story is, but I think it's about halfway when Sanctuary floats. Like I said, I've beat this game dozens of times throughout my life. So, especially when I was super addicted to it, running characters to max. So it's not going to be like, you know, Red Dead, where everything's fresh and I'm going to really kind of suck. I'm really rusty. I haven't played this game since I got addicted back in the day. But at the same time, it's just not going to take us near as long as what other games take us, I don't think. Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can't push towards like floating Sanctuary today. That'd be a pretty good start. Tucker looked like he was growing out of your back. He's playing Fortnite. He's loving Season 10 already. I can't believe we're at Season 10. Season X, as they're calling it.
He promises not to torture me for hours at a time. Then he does it anyway. But that ends today.
Fix a machine by bashing it or whatever. Guy with the robot arm. Is this cyberpunk? Yeah, on PC you have to use mods to remove the brown tint they have. 200 years later, it's not going to look like Ground Zero still. True. Very true. I made it past... Started over there about 4 times.
And I'm gonna play hopscotch in your chest cavity.
Ew. So, Claptrap makes some funny remarks with Flint. So Flint that we're about to kill right now is actually relation to the Zane Flint that's going to be a Vault Hunter Borderlands 3. It's pretty cool, and he's related also to Baron Flint from the first Borderlands, one of the last bosses that you kill. He's a part of the same family, and he's also related to the Hodunks, who are a big-time, like, feuding family in this game, like the Greys and the Blethowitz from Red Dead Redemption. There's I think it's the Zaffords and the Hodunks. They're two, you know, Wild West style, oh shoot, the Hatfields and McCoys. It's that same, like, story playing over and over again. It's the Zaffords versus the Hodunks. And he's also a Hodunk. So, and they're all bad people, but he chose the life of, like, justice and trying to do right. So he's got, like, an Irish accent, and he's an assassin, but he's related to these people, and there's some pretty funny dialogue we'll get to unlock in the final DLC, which involves, like, his family still being his family, kind of, and, like, wanting to, in order to see if he's still alive, they'll, like, send assassin crews after him. They'll try to kill him, knowing, I assume that he can. I love this freaking head, man. This is from, I'm pretty sure this is from the Hammerlock DLC. Such a cool head. You know, this is my old save file, so I've got pretty much everything unlocked except for the Headhunter packs. I didn't go through and do those later. I liked the pumpkin one because I love the Dr. Ned Zombie Island DLC from the first Borderlands. What's my major malfunction? But other than that, I haven't gotten to do the Headhunter packs. I think the Headhunter packs are on this. And since this is going to be our dude, I don't imagine we're going to have time to do anyone else. So we'll just try to do pretty much everything on this dude. I've never really, as I say, I've never taken a Gunzerker all the way to max. Gage was my main, and that's a freaking badass head, dude. So many of these are cool. So many of these are good. This is from having like a super special edition of the game, and I got lucky, kind of like I got lucky on Battleborn, and somebody was willing to give me a code on Reddit. So I got a hold of this head. But this was from like a $200 diamond chest edition that Borderlands 2 that came out later. It didn't even include the game. It was just a re-release of the red chest they had for the special edition of Borderlands 2. And came with a shift code, and somebody was nice enough to throw me one. I wasn't a streamer then either. I was just super addicted to the game. Love that head, dude. Oh yeah, the pirate head. Okay, yeah, we gotta do the pirate head. We gotta do the pirate head for you. So at least you're here in spirit, Rikers. At least you're here in spirit. Did we finish Borderlands 1 yesterday? For all intents and purposes, I finished it. I'm done with it. I've done everything but the Moxie DLC. And the Moxie DLC is so much horseshit. So, let's be bad guys. Pretty sure this is from... Gearbox is one of the few studios that actually celebrates St. Paddy's Day. And they usually do skins and guns for it. I'm pretty sure that's a St. Paddy's Day skin. Killer Bee's a cool one. I think Killer Bee came from an event that happened in this game's life. I think it was when there was the big community event where they gave away like $5 million. That was fun. That was probably the peak of Borderlands 1's post-launch, once the season pass was over. It was all kind of downhill and mysterious from there. No one knew what the future looked like. Destiny was coming out. Pre-sequel was rumored. People were just worried. They started doing Headhunter packs, and those weren't going great. They were a cool idea, and they did add raid bosses to the game, but at the same time, just does such a lack of content inside those things. Of course, we gotta go, you know, the pink panda corn. Apparently, we get to go see the loot unicorn that literally poops loot. All those doll skins are sweet, dude. These are from challenges. So this is what you get for doing the badass rank challenges. Wow, that looks really good. I've not played this really in the Handsome Edition. I played back in the day, obviously, you know, I love this game, but I haven't really seen this stuff in the 1080, you know, it's not 4K for me, but you could be in 60 FPS and all this, the upscaled resolution. So, like, getting to see the skins the way that PC people saw them, it's kind of crazy. So, like, you get a bunch of kill with Jacobs, you get the Jacob skin. What I'm looking for is to see if we have the, the camo. Gearbox skin, you gotta get a rare code for that. And of course, I scoured the web. It's for having gonna move you to speak. Spear back in like 2 minutes. Sweet, sounds good. Wreckers, thanks for being here, buddy. Skin of Steel. I don't remember. I think I might have bought that one. Mess with the bull, get the horns. I'm a classiest man alive. That's another good one. I just work here. The dwarf with no name. That's cool. He's got the poncho. I like that. I don't know if we have the camo. I don't think I must have never done the crouch and kill 50 million enemies with Sal, I mean. Isn't that the OG? Isn't that just his OG shirt? I'm gonna look one more time, because if he's got it, it's a pretty freaking badass skin. It's a tiger camo. A lot of these are super generic. You unlock them early on. They're just color changes. They're just recolors. It's a good one. That's, I think, again, that was from the big community event that happened after the season pass, and they gave away a bunch of money. We all had to, like, we had to work together as a community to kill tons of enemies. It was cool. It was something to do. It was something for us that we're sticking with it to do. I mean, I love the poncho. I think that's the community day skin.
You found a customization
I was gonna name this guy something. I had it in my mind what we were gonna name him. And now it's gone. And now it's gone. So since there's people here, let's call him Rikers Derek Wilson. Let's call him the Great Rikers or Real 5. There we go. Since you guys are here for this playthrough, we'll name him after you. You guys were here at the beginning. Alright, let's kill some stuff. Pretty sure level 5, we get our, Yo, Gun! Stucco Hammer, do, capital H, Gun, and make sure you got Franker Z enabled. Are you off work today? Or are you just about to go in? If you're gonna be on tonight, if you want to play some, Tyrell.
That's one area free of bullymongs.
It's gonna be perfect for Borderlands 3, because if you wanted to play Borderlands, you could just jump in and be like, alright, sweet, and it'll literally scale you up to my level, so we could keep these playthroughs going. So, like, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I hope you will. Stuck. Yeah, that's it right there. Stucco Hammer. Do you see it? If you got Franker Z enabled, you'll definitely be able to see it. I just love the modeling. Like, they did such... You can't open the menu, it's weird. You can open the menu while you're in the air in the first Borderlands. But these guns just look so tight, you know? They're just made of parts. They just build a ton of parts and then they procedurally generate how they all come together. And it works. It's really sweet. I mean, it's all about the guns in this game. That's why I get so disappointed later on with Borderlands 2. Is you stop being able to use guns. You know, like, just randomly. It shouldn't be totally random. What I mean by stop being able to use guns is the thing that this game excels in, which is variety, gets completely lost because it comes down to like 5 or 10 different gear choices. And many would argue, well, every game does that. And sure, maybe, but not every game is not every game has a tagline that's about having billions of different guns. I really hope Borderlands 3 is going to avoid that. I think it's going to do much better, and I think it will. But it becomes a major issue with this game, is once you get to Ultimate Vault Hunter and we try to run to level 80, then we're going to be down to Double Penetrating Incupped Herald, Pimpernickel, Grog Nozzle, just a very limited set of weapons to really be able to power through content. Yo, young son! What about it? Thanks for being here. I'm getting on tonight. I can't wait to see what I got to turn on. I can't wait to see what I got to turn on. What do you mean, Tyrell? Are we playing Apex tonight, or what's up? What are you going to do tonight?
Most efficacious. Bullymongs will think twice about raiding peaceful cities in the future. Hopefully.
Yo! I don't think they think at all, but I can't wait for us to name them Boner Farts. Hey, watch out. Here we go. Young son! I can't wait to see the hammer. Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah. Thanks for being here, Adam. Adam's a great PvP guy. Keeps a finger on the pulse of the industry. He's a very talented streamer, and you should check him out. You should check him out. You said I gotta turn something on. Yeah, Franker Z. It's a Twitch extension. since you can't see it. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. And what are we doing? Apex tonight or what? I'm assuming we're gonna do some Apex. Because I think I'll probably be, if I keep it up and I only take a dinner break, I'll probably be close to the level, I would say 25 is probably realistic. I could probably hit today. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep got delayed. Now that's interesting. I guess the benefits of being a self-publishing, huh? The benefits of self-publishing, Adam. That's nice. It went gold. So I thought that was about sales. I just learned. I'm kind of embarrassed. I just learned that means your game's done. Like, it's at launch now. You're at version 1.0. Je ne sais quoi.
Bullymong fur might do the trick if you could bring me some. To harvest bullymong fur, you'll need to rip it.
Rip it. Just repulled, like. This is when Hammerlock's all right.
Then finish him off with fisticuffs.
I think we get bad Claptrap coming up. Claptrap like tries to be a gangster to try to show you that he's been connected with Flint. Pretty early too. Yeah, a month out they went gold, but I think it's because they took so much time to refine it. That's the way they always talked. It's like, you know, at least Randy. So take it with a grain of salt, but we want to take the time to really do this right. But I think that they've been really, for all intents and purposes, done with it for a while, and they've just been polishing, refining for a year, 2 years. Which should be great news for us. I'm sure am hoping. Yeah, I'd imagine they're working on day 1 update. Well, I hope we don't have... Oh, it should be day 1 update. But if it's day 1 patch, then that's really worrying. But I don't think we're in an Anthem situation or close.
We've hijacked the train that runs through the dust.
Helena Pierce, you might remember her from the first Borderlands. She was in charge of New Haven. One of the things about this game is, even though it's kind of a weird shooter, is it's an amazing shooter because it gets the Diablo thing with guns, and that's what was always so remarkable about Borderlands and what they did so right that impresses me to this day. Is Diablo? I'm not a Diablo player, but I've watched plenty of it, and it has that like frenetic, constant combat where you're just killing, and there's things happening, and you're growing as a character, and you're leveling up, and you're getting skill points, and loot's dropping on the ground, and you're just slaying out. And those two main things is what Borderlands is able to capture, which is that the frenetic thing, the slaying, while loot drops. They were able to instill that action RPG feeling in a shooter. And it hadn't been done. It hadn't been done up to this point. We have Borderlands to thank for The Division and Destiny. And that's the truth. I'm not 100% if D2 delays because of Borderlands 3, but could be. I just imagine there's probably bugs and I don't know. Maybe they want to shove more microtransactions in it. You never know with Bungie, man. What do you think, Adam? It don't matter. Well, we were supposed to do this playthrough together. How the hell are we going to do that? Before Borderlands 3 comes out, Tyrell, we got to figure out when we're going to do this Borderlands 2 playthrough. Yeah, it's just something about this game, man. I just really like it. And I think it's mostly this. It's just fun to kill shit in this game. Which I think is what grows into so much frustration later on. It's fun to kill shit, and it's fun to pick up random guns and be growing. And then you just end up you just hit such a wall. Especially as a console person who doesn't use Gibbs later on. And you feel so limited in your playstyle and your gun choice. I think that they're very aware of that, and I hope and really believe that they will correct that for Borderlands 3. And if they do, it is going to service us as players, as gamers, not just Borderlands fans, but just as gamers in general for years to come. And I really don't think that that's hyperbolic to believe that. Hey guys, when Grandma burps, Patrick obeys. Did you know that the way that loot is organized is that white is common, green is uncommon? I don't know if any of you knew that. What gun? Oh yeah, we get the special grenade for the Handsome Edition. They just give you everything. It's fireworks. That's Borderlands in a nutshell right there. And that's something that this game doesn't do wrong. Again, that's why I want more loot needs to be viable in the end game with this. You can't have a game that's like about let's throw the craziest guns possible in there. Let's have guns that go whirly twirly and shoot into fireworks and then they run on the ground and insult you. And then say, but by the way, for the vast majority of your experience when you get to the end game, you're going to be using one gun. I think they'll correct it. I'm not worried. Because most of it's just a scaling issue. The pre-sequel doesn't have an endgame. Never brought an endgame in either. But it doesn't have near the bottlenecking of Borderlands 2. Just because of the scaled down exponential. That they lessened the curve. This is like... It's like 10 times. Every time you level up, it's like 10 times. Everything gains 10 times the health. You gain 10 times the health, it gains 10 times the health. So by the time you get to the OP levels, this is not an exaggeration. The raid bosses have billions with a B of health. It breaks the ever-living daylights out of the game. Whereas in Borderlands 1, you're talking about like 10,000 health is a lot of health. And that is so much more playable. Skills. That feels weird, man. Game director for Borderlands 3 said the biggest with Borderlands 3 has a strong endgame. What developer doesn't say my game's gonna have a strong endgame, Adam? But no, I'm sure. Look, Borderlands 2 has a super strong endgame. Borderlands 1 has a good endgame. It's strong enough, it's there. And for its time period, it was... You know, that was a deep endgame for the time on console. I'm not worried about that. It's like I can't get my ADS to feel fast. This, I think, is too much. That's true. It's just the scaling. I'm not worried at all about Borderlands 3's endgame. I'm actually not. I'm quite confident in it. Sorry, I'm just fixing some things. And it looks like the scaling is pre-sequels, right? So that gives me even more confidence. Hey, keep shooting things at me. I'm just trying to get my ADS good. There we go, I'm starting to feel better. It's because it's grabby. So then it takes like a little while to like really scale up.